whatever time it is where you are. As always, you guys know the drill. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. List your country, list your province, list your city, your state, all that good stuff. We really want to know where you're from. So go ahead and leave that in the comments below. And I'm keeping the question going that I had from previous, which was, what do you do for a living? What is your job? What is your profession? We want to know. So that'll be a lot of fun. So let us know in the comments. And today's topic is someone has a very special birthday.
Is it special? Isn't all birthdays
Well, I meant to say a very special person has a birthday.
Okay. I think all birthdays are special.
But yeah, a very special person has a birthday, and that would be Cacie. So we wanted to dedicate this live stream to saying happy birthday.
Is there going to be like, this is your life? People coming from the past showing up on this live stream.
I don't have the technology for that yet.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I don't think I want anybody to surprise me like that. I'm trying to think, who would I even care to pop up from the past that I wouldn't mind seeing again.
Well, from the past, I think everybody's in your life that you want in your life.
I mean, yeah, but you know, there's relationships. Well, never mind.
Yeah, there's a whole other.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
But yeah, it is Cacie's birthday on tomorrow, as it always is every year. But it's the first time we actually had like a video right around the same time that we're doing that. So we should talk about it. So how does it feel? I mean, are you excited? What's going on?
I am excited. I am. I think I am excited. I am. I have a lot of excitement about this birthday, but I think the last several birthdays I've just been more on the chill side of things, and also I think the last couple of birthdays a lot has been going on. So this is kind of, I guess, the first one that I've been like, I don't know, it's always stuff going on around us all the time, but as far as like having a party and celebration, stuff like that, I think the last few years have been sort of just low key and just spending it with family and friends and stuff like that. And just kind of chilling and doing that. This year though, I plan to do something a little bit every day. That's in celebration of
Every day this week.
Every day this week. Yeah, every day this week. And just celebrate that way with family and friends always. And just, I'm very, reflective of my life and walking into a whole different, a new decade of my life. That in itself is sort of amazing. I would say that don't believe the hype. A lot of times around your birthday, especially when you start hitting these milestone ages, people always tell you, well, girl, expect this, expect that. And I'm gonna tell you how old I am. I know y'all like, okay, so tell how old you are. I'm gonna say it to the end, so you gotta stay to the end. You gotta stay to the end of this video.
Yeah, watch the whole thing.
Right, you watch the whole thing. Some of you already know, you guys are smart. I've been calculating since day one. But just gotta be careful that you don't get wrapped up in the fear of getting older and the fear of birthdays. Some people get really afraid, but for me, I find it to be a very exciting time to start really walking into everything that God has put here for me to do and really see this as a new starting point. I think all my life I have always treated my birthdays as my personal new year. We have New Year's and we celebrate New Year's and we have resolutions and we start making these commitments of things that we want to do in life. But for me, my birthday is also my personal new year, where I just take assessment of my life and I say, okay, what do I want to do better? How do I want to improve? And for me, this year coming around, I wanted to walk free from every insecurity, every fear, everything that I've ever had in my life. And I really wanted to just really go to those deep places that we don't really attend to a lot. We all have those, I call them dark pockets in our closets that we just kind of throw everything in that corner. And we don't know what's in there. It's a bunch of cobwebs, it's a bunch of stuff, but it's that stuff that can be accessed by the enemy if you let him access it when certain things come up. And so I really asked Lord to help me just to kind of clean my closet, for lack of a better term, and just be free so that I can walk into this new era of my life not holding on to anything. And so I'm definitely doing that. And I really feel free. Like I am a much freer person. I can sense like this awareness of myself. I can sense this confidence coming on me. Like I've never walked in before. And I'm like, listen, we only got a short time here on this side of life, and I'm just going to live it, and I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say what I need to say, all in love. But like, what are we holding back for? Like, why are we not doing the things that we've been wanting to do for the past 10, 15 years? Let's just do it. Yeah.
Well, if you want to, I'll put you on the spot, but do you want to talk a little bit about what that's sort of been like for you and some of those insecurities? Because we're on YouTube or YouTuber, so the idea is like, well, you have insecurities, you got fears, things like that. You're a semi-famous YouTuber, you know, you post stuff all the time, blah, blah, you know. So, you know, what does that look like for you, though? Some of those.
I love how people say, I don't want to put you on the spot.
And then you put you on the spot.
But you do it
That's the preamble
anyway.
for being put on the spot. So,
Right.
you know,
I think you are exactly.
Just a statement of saying, I'm
spot.
sorry, but I'm going to do this to you.
Right.
I'm pushing you in the water.
Right. Well, believe it or not, even though my face is always on something here on social media. I've been doing social media for a very long time, even before Jalen and Cacie even existed. I've always had something out there where my face or talent or anything was out there. And so when I tell people that I used to be very insecure about myself, how I looked, how I talked, very, very, very timid person, very shy, sort of an introvert. A lot of people just don't believe that because they just see me up here doing that. What they don't realize is that I do this on purpose so that that particular insecurity or fear doesn't control me. Mm-hmm. But for a long, long time, it was very uncomfortable being in front of people and talking and doing things. But God always seemed to put me in positions where I had to talk, mm-hmm. where I had to perform. Even becoming a licensed stylist was definitely a stretch for me. It's not what I originally wanted to do. I'll talk about that another day. I tell people I don't have the average hairstylist story. It's not something that I wanted to do, but I felt led to do it. And not realizing that that particular career helped me become who I am today, because it required that I put my work out there to be criticized, to be critiqued. And I hated that. I hated the feeling of rejection. And when people didn't like stuff that I did, I felt like they were coming against me. Like, I'm saying like a lot, like. Yeah. So I used to be a very fearful wallflower person. And even down to my hair, I was very basic. But then I can remember the day where I was like, you know what? I'm going to change this. I no longer want to be a wallflower. I want to stand out. I want to be noticed. And not in a way that was for my own self gain, but I knew that the temptation for me just to be quiet and just to shy away was there. So I had to push outside of my comfort zone. So the first thing I did, I remember, is cut my hair really, really, really short. It shocked my parents. It shocked my family. They was like, oh my God. So it required that I started putting my makeup on a certain way, and it just made me stand out. And I can remember doing that. And from that day forward, I just been bold about that. I would cut my hair. Even to the point where I had one particular person come up to me and it was like, you know, I really don't like that hairstyle on you. And first of all, I was like, well, I didn't do it for you. And how dare you? Like, why do people feel like they could tell me, I don't care what you like, I didn't do it for you? But I was like, okay. But that's when I realized, okay, I'm gonna do this all the time then. I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna just be contrary. I'm just gonna do it. And so that kind of led me into my beauty career. And I would change my hair and wear different hairstyles and different colors and just be all bold. And then when I really got into makeup, I used to do all kinds of crazy makeup and do all kinds of stuff. And I loved it because it drew attention when I wasn't one comfortable with attention. But what Laura's teaching me is that, and you can butt anytime you want to, but what Laura's teaching me, and he reminded me of this earlier this week, is that as believers, we ought to want to stand out because we were called to be a light. And if you are a person that is shy, who's fearful, who just, we are afraid to speak up and to be noticed, know that that's not from God. God is not shy. He's not fearful. He's not giving you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And it's important that we know that, because the devil will oftentimes try to snuff out your light, to keep you hidden, because there's something in you that somebody needs. And it will always touch my heart when people would stop me and say, you know what you said really blessed my heart, or what you sung, because I sing too, which is a whole nother going outside my comfort zone. Or I would do clients' hair or their makeup, and they would sit in my chair and they would cry and just like, oh, I didn't know I could be this pretty. Oh, you really ministered to me. And it will bless me. And that's when I would know that this is why God had me to do what I'm doing, because somebody else needed that confidence boost that I needed. And so anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, being a light. God called us to be a light, and lights are designed to shine and to guide. And I want to be a light, and I can't be hidden. So however God instructs you to stand out, that's what you do. He instructed me to become a cosmetologist, and that's what I did. And I wear my hair different colors. I wear my makeup a certain way, because it always gets attention. And not for myself, but because it always brought an opportunity for me to minister to someone. And it would start a conversation. And I love that. And for a while, I kind of fell off the wagon on that. I kind of got into a rut with my look. But this year, stepping into my new decade of life, I said, I got to bring Cacie back. I got to bring that light back to the forefront and start deliberately wanting to be noticed. And again, I know some people hear that and say, well, it's not about you. I know it's not about me. But God gave me these gifts. He gave me these talents. He gave me this face. He gave me this hair. He gave me this ability for a reason. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to dress it up, because I want somebody to ask me so I can have a door to minister his love. So it goes back to, he did not give you the spirit of fear, but he gave you power, dominion, and authority over your situation, over your circumstances, over your space. And he gave you love, because it's the love of God that will constrain people. It will arrest whatever unrest that's in them. Thank you so much. Thank you. It is that will cause people to turn themselves over to Christ. And so that's what I am desiring to walk in more of in this year, or in this new decade of my life, is in that power and in that love. So that's a little bit of my story. It's a lot of layers to it. And I think with time, I discover more about myself. With time, I just go deeper with God. And I just want to be untethered by anything. And we all have insecurities about ourselves. And for me, from A to Z, I didn't like anything about me. And even now, sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I feel uncomfortable being in front of the camera, taking pictures, because it's always an opportunity to just nitpick at the stuff that you see. Because we're always comparing ourselves to somebody else. We're always comparing ourselves to somebody else's talent and what they can do. And the devil's always telling you, you're not good enough. You're incapable. You can't do it. They're doing better than you. They look better than you. They talk, they sing, they do everything better than you. It's not about being better than you. The thing is, nobody can do you the way you do you. And we have to accept that if God wanted you to be them, he would have made you them. But he made you you. And we need to stop focusing on what somebody else is doing and how they're doing it, and discover how God wants you to do it. Because in that is where the grace is for you. So I'm just kind of going back to some of the things that the Lord has taught me over the years, and just re-implementing them back into my life more strategically, and just like, this is my time. And honestly, I think with age, there's a grace that comes when you get older, where you just start getting kind of I don't know the word for it, but you them little old ladies where they get so old that they have no filters. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Your filter becomes a little less the older you become. And I think I'm starting to figure it out. is because one, you are aware of the fact that your time here, not that I'm not old, okay, but the quality of life becomes more important to you as you get older, and you don't have time for a bunch of nonsense and junk and unfruitful things being in your space. So you want to weed those things out as quickly as possible. So I find myself being a little less filtered these days. And most of my friends and family will tell you I've always been a person that's been kind of like sharp and straight to the point. But I really feel like if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you if I don't like it. If I don't want it, I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, I feel like I'm coming a little less unfiltered, and I'm actually excited about it. I actually am excited about it. Like, yeah. I feel like I'm rambling, but go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, but this is your day, babe. Well, tomorrow's your day, but you know what I'm saying.
This whole week I'm celebrating the whole week.
But I wanted to ask you, like, you know, do you have anything that you're willing to share as far as goals going into this new decade, things that you just want to accomplish and see come to life in your life, you know? Even if it's things that you've already started, but you just want to, you know, maybe take it to the next level, but any goals that's kind of ahead of you, being that this is your new year, so to speak.
I think I just want to be stronger, not just physically. You know, I've started my, fitness life a couple years ago. I just want to be stronger overall, physically, mentally, spiritually. I want to really understand what balance means. I don't know. I think what I'm learning is you have to accept that there is going to be seasons in your life. There's moments in your life that won't last forever, but you need to optimize that time that you have in that moment, in that season, and don't get so caught up in doing one thing that when it's time to move on to the next, you're depressed, you're sad. And I kind of experienced that when I stepped from behind the chair a couple years ago. And recently I was on the phone with somebody and they was like, oh yeah, I heard you're not doing hair anymore. And I was kind of sad to hear that. And I was like, well, why are you sad? It wasn't your business. It wasn't your career. But I told them, I said, I'm not sad. I said, no, I'm not sad at all. I'm actually very excited to be in this season of my life, to see what God has for me to do. I did that for almost 20 years and it was just time for me to step away. And if God, I'm still licensed, I'm still educated, and if God wants to use that again in another time, then I will still have that available to me. But it's nothing to be sad about when you are following God's plan. It's not like it was just a haphazard thing to happen. Yes, I was pregnant, so that was number one. And I knew that I wanted to be fully dedicated to raising our son and being there for him, especially he'd be 2 years old this coming August. And so I think it's a privilege and an honor to be able to be home with him and to nurture him. We live in a crazy world, and I'm glad that I'm able to do that. And also it gave me opportunity to just revisit some stuff that God has been dealing with me over the course of years, and things that I kind of put on the back burner that God would tell me to do. But I was kind of like, well, I'm busy with this career. I'm busy trying to make this business work. I'm busy with this. But now I have more time to focus on those things. And there's more to me than just a hairstyle. It's more to me than just doing makeup and other things in the beauty industry. And so yeah, I told her I wasn't sad at all. I'm actually quite excited about the new chapter in my life. And I know that all that I did and all that he allowed me to do was not in vain. So
going now that you're older and kind of reminiscing of your life, how do you define success versus how you used to define it? When you were possibly chasing it.
Deep question. Next time I'm gonna need you to
I know, grab this question.
Let me think
all I
about
knew with the theme was going to be happy birthday.
Ask the question again.
How do you define success now, where you are in life now, versus how you maybe just about to say your age, how you defined it at previous ages?
I define success by how much peace I have in that moment. I I realized that I didn't have a lot of peace. I was just kind of moving with momentum and just moving with life and doing, quote unquote money moves and doing stuff. Again, trying to be like everybody else beside me. But I didn't have a lot of peace and a lot of confidence in a lot of things that I was doing. But I value my peace so much more now that I consider that success. I consider success with how healthy I am, how healthy our relationship is, how healthy our relationship is with our son, with my family that are close to me. Like, I value that as being successful, because you can have all the money, you can have all the fame, you can have all the quote unquote successful business, but if you're broken inside, if your family's broken, if your marriage is broken, if your relationship with God is broken, then you are a failure. And so I rather have all those things working the way they're supposed to, and in those things, out of those things, God will prosper you. It's easy to prosper when you have peace, when you're walking in the peace of God. Thank you so much. I'm excited, guys. I consider that success to me now is having peace.
I'll throw a point in there. I'm purposely letting you do most of the talking about. I'll throw a point in something you said. I like to say about peace because there's a particular short that we release on TikTok, YouTube, things like that. And it's one that some people like what we said in that one. A lot of people don't like what we said in that one. And it's about money. But but it was a clip. It's a very short clip from a longer discussion. And granted, I think it's easy to miss the context of it because it's such a short piece, but I edited it that way because it's so striking, catch people's attention. But in it, I say it's better to be broke and work on your marriage and let God prosper you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I tried the day off. Thank you.
And to promote the YouTube channel, have you noticed her? She's been doing tutorials and stuff lately.
Well, I've done one makeup video. I actually shot a makeup video, and that's in the process of editing. I might have to redo it. I don't know, but I do have another video coming soon.
But yeah, make sure you check out YouTube if you haven't already.
But thank you for that
She's
compliment.
gotten back into that. So.
Yeah.
But no. And I made that statement, and I still stand by the statement because the point that I was making in that video and that you're making now is that one of the greatest causes of divorce is money issues, financial issues.
Yeah.
We know that, and greatest points of argument. And even us, when we were early on, we'd have a lot of disagreements about money and things like that, and we just didn't have a lot of it. And that's really where it comes from. You don't have a lot of it and you're arguing about that. If you had it, half the arguments would go away.
You're mad about these $2.
But what's funny is though that if you don't prioritize how to fix that issue, if you do happen to get some through toiling and grinding, you'll still be unhappy even though you have the money, because money isn't really going to solve the issue between the two of you. And so we came to a crossroads where we had to decide, okay, are we going to make decisions handling our life on how to chase more money? And even though it would have seemed like it was smart, like, hey, if you're not making enough, you need to maybe get a second job, maybe they need to send you out to work to do something else, like all that kind of stuff, that sounds like, okay, that's a practical thing to do. And I'm not saying that it's always the wrong decision depending on the situation. But in our situation, our communication was weak. Our intimacy was weak. There was things that were weak in our marriage. And so we were in the middle of fixing those things, and then we ran up on these financial issues. And we could clearly see that if we now diverted off of this path of focusing on our marriage and maybe me picking up a second job to try to make ends meet, we would never finish this journey. It would fall apart.
No.
And I remember being frustrated about finances one time and saying to you, I think maybe I should really get a second job. And you were like, no. You were like, no, that stress that would put you under and what that would do to our marriage, and we didn't have enough time as it is now, and then you were having less time together. You're like, no, we're not doing that. And it was touching, but also I truly respect it because you felt the burden of not having what we needed, but you valued me and our relationship and our time together enough to say that's not the answer. And it propelled me to really get in the face of God in our financial journey. We'll just have to do a series on this about, okay, this needs to be resolved, but we're going to resolve it your way, God. I'm not going to try to do it my way. And so that led me to make that statement in that video. And going back to what you were saying now about, it's better to just not accept, but it's better to just focus on what God is telling you to focus on. It's better to seek the
and,
kingdom.
and what we were not saying, because a lot of people, it's like, well, y'all saying I should be poor, and I ain't gonna be poor. We're not promoting poor. Okay, we don't believe it's not funny. We're not saying you shouldn't have financial security. That's contrary to what we believe. We believe in richness and prosperity. However, if you're seeking those things first, then you're going to fail to build a foundation in your relationship that you need, because out of a productive and fruitful and happy relationship comes prosperity. It's easy.
Yes.
The agreement that we have about money now makes everything else so much smoother. And we have prospered, and we're still prospering, and we're still going through things, guys. Like, there's another story coming. But if we did not fix our marriage in the beginning, we would have fallen apart. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, guys. These last couple of months have been, the enemy has been kicking rocks. I'm gonna put it like that. But the one thing that we recognized first was the fact how much peace we have between us.
Yeah, one thing we say is like, we talk all the time. We preach that, so obviously it's a good thing that we do. And we were talking about the things that have been issues that have popped up since the beginning of this year. And we were like, the shining light in all this is that we're good. Between me and you, like, our marriage is very strong. And because of that, we've been able to, when one is down, pick the other one up. When the other's down, pick the other one up and tackle these things.
And we're not attacking each other. We're not blaming each other.
Because, newsflash, I don't care how much money you get, there's always going to be an attack or a problem or a project that costs more money than the money that you've got. And so if you decide early on, when you're dealing with just basically pennies, that, well, I'm going to chase the money to try to make my family be stable, your family's not going to be stable. And what's going to happen is you're just going to have more money problems later that y'all aren't built to and equipped to handle. And so, yes, when you're presented with, do I work on my marriage, or do I try to chase this money? Do I work on a relationship with God, or do I try to chase this money? Do I work on my mental health, or do I try to chase this money? You always choose that other stuff first. You don't chase the money, because mammon is a very terrible God to serve. He's going to require everything of you. And when you get all the money that you think you needed to be happy, you realize you lost everything else along the way. You gained the whole world and lost your soul. And so when you were saying that for success is looking at the peace in that moment, that's true. Because sure, you got millions of dollars to your name, but there's no peace with it. That's not success. It's not worth it to be rich if I can't have a good marriage at the same time. It's not worth it to be rich if I can't be mentally stable at the same time. It's not worth it to be rich and I don't have a strong relationship with God and the wisdom of God at the same time. I'd rather reject that. And you're going to have to make a decision. I'm kind of getting to the money series now, but you're going to have to reject
money
the
series
call.
Coming soon, guys.
Yeah, you say you knew it, we even knew it. You're going to have to reject, quote unquote, and it sounds radical, you're going to reject the money and choose God. And that's just not radical. That's common sense. You have to choose God and say, God, I'm going to do this your way. And I know everything's falling apart around me. I know the bills are due. I know all this stuff. But Lord, I'm going to believe that you can take care of me and that you can prosper me by me finding out how to make my way prosperous, according to Joshua 1:8. You're going to show me how to do that. And although everything's falling apart right now, I trust that if I follow your way, you're going to lead me through this valley. And that's what happened. Stuff was tight back then. But I said, Lord, teach me how to be rich your way. Teach me how to do this your way. And he literally taught me through the word. And all stuff that was falling apart slowly stopped falling apart. Because again, it's the devil kicking rocks trying to get your attention. He wants your attention because if attention's on him, it's not on God. And if it's not on God, then it's not on true success. It's not on true peace. And he'll try to give you everything, the entire world, with the hopes that you'll give up the peace of God. But rather choose the peace of God. Rather choose the wisdom of God. In Proverbs, wisdom says, value me more than gold and silver. I am your greatest revenue. Choose me over that. Why? Is it because the gold and the silver is evil? No, because she'll add it to you.
The word says he already knows you have need of these things. God is very aware that we need financial stability in this world that we live in. Like, he's very aware of that, but he wants you to seek him first. And all those things he will add. He will add those things, but you got to seek him first.
6:33.
And that's what we decided to do with our relationship, is we seek God. We sought God first about our relationship, and he began to add things, and he began to teach us how to be prosperous his way. And we're still walking that out, you guys. But from day one to where we are now, we are just so much better. And we're so grateful for that part, because I don't care how long you've been married, you're going to come under attack, warfare. Challenges are always going to come, something new, because the devil is just that way. He's not going to quit.
Mm-mm.
And but the stronger you are, the less impactful those attacks will be unto you. So yeah, I consider success being peace, being able to walk in peace and acceptance too. I've learned to accept who I am. I've learned to accept where I am at this moment in this time. And not put so much pressure on myself to be perfect all the time and have everything together. That's not realistic. God knew we were not perfect, so that's why he gave us the Holy Spirit. He gave us grace, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm just learning to rely on him a lot more and to give myself grace and say, Cacie, it's okay. It's okay.
I want to say something. I think that the balancing point of growth is being comfortable with who you are, but not comfortable with where you are.
Yeah.
And that balance.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very tricky finding that dividing line.
Yeah.
Because you got to come to a point of peace of who God made you. And even some of the flaws that you have, whether it's physical flaws or even personality flaws. I'm not sure what you wish. I wish I wasn't this way. I wish I didn't have these issues. But accepting your wiring and then pursuing being the best of what God made you to be, becoming more like Christ. And it's this weird balancing act, I think, sometimes of figuring that out, of that's what growth is, accepting who you are, but not being comfortable with.
Yeah, because you don't want to be stagnant. You always want to be growing and developing and improving on yourself. It's like we work out, we do CrossFit. We've been doing it for going on 2 years. And it's a whole lot, okay? And we're not perfect at all. We're not the best of it at all. But we keep practicing. We keep doing the same things over and over again until we are improving. And one thing that we've learned is that you're always improving. There's people in there that have been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years, and they are still improving. Just like, I'm still getting better. Yeah. Because here's the thing. You're not going to be able to focus on everything at once. It's so many movements and so many things. Because if you focus on one little thing all the time, then you're going to be weak in a whole lot of other stuff. So sometimes you're in the season of learning how to do a snatch. Look it up, you guys. There might be one season where you're working on your deadlifts or your pull-ups or whatever it is. You got to create this balance so that all your muscle groups get some work. Yeah. I know I have my favorite movements. I love deadlifts, because it's one of them things that you can get strong in pretty quickly. And I love lifting heavy, but I can't just do deadlifts all the time because other parts of me need to work out as well. So it's going to take me a lifetime. That's why this is a lifestyle for us. It can't just be, well, I want to get to be a certain size. I just want to be to look this way and then I'm done. No, it's a consistent thing, and it's a lifestyle for us. So for me, choosing peace and choosing health is a lifestyle for me now. It's not just an end game. It's not just a seasonal thing. Yeah. It is a life pursuit of mine. So that means as long as I'm pursuing it, there's always room for growth. There's always room for development. And that's where I'm at right now. So like you said, it's learning to be comfortable with who you are, who God made you, but not being comfortable not developing, not growing. And you need people around you to help you realize it's time to grow. Yeah. That's why we love our gym, because people are of all fitness levels and they keep you sharp. You always got somebody to look at. You always got somebody pushing you to say, okay, it's time to go to the next level. It's time to go to the next level. And that's why we do what we do. We want to encourage people go to the next level. There is better out there. You can't have a successful marriage. You can't have a successful family. You can be prosperous. You can be whole in your mind. Go to the next level, because somebody for us helped us realize that we can go to the next level. Exactly. Well, to reward everyone who stayed here to the end-ish, I guess. Okay, but in 2 minutes, I'm gonna give y'all 2 minutes to put in the comments, how old do you think I'll be on tomorrow? I feel like everybody should know. They should know. They should figure it out by watching our videos and the age gap stuff, and then, what we've kind of been saying here. I feel like they should have figured it out. But yeah, in the comments, everybody watching, go ahead and leave your best comment of how old you think Cacie is turning tomorrow.
Yeah, 2 minutes from right now. It's 1:45 for us. So if you're watching on YouTube, put a comment. How old is Cacie turning tomorrow? TikTok, how old is Cacie turning tomorrow? Instagram, how old is Cacie turning tomorrow? It's okay. This is the one time it's okay to talk about a woman's age.
It's gonna be
We're
a
offering it.
look, soon in 2 minutes the blackout. Disconnect.
Yeah, so 2
No,
minutes.
but you know, I'm good. You know, yeah, I'll talk about that maybe another live, but I am good with this number. You think about it, it's one of them things you can't change. Like, it's like you have to accept it. I don't know why people freak out so hard about turning a certain number. Again, it's because they listen to so much garbage about aging that they are afraid to do it.
You gotta guess.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one.
Say it. So, like,
Oh, 32.
Instagram says 32. YouTube, what y'all got? I see some people watching right now. Go ahead and say what you got.
Instagram says 32. I like that one. 32. What I was about to say. Yeah, don't listen to that garbage about aging and all stuff like that. Like, it's not. Age is not just a number, but it is a way of thinking. Boom. It is who you are up here. And it goes back to what you are developing into, what are you growing into. And so I'm excited about this one. I really, really am. And yeah, I'm excited. So I got 1 minute left.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting because when it's time for me to do my milestone one, I'm gonna do a whole special video on it.
Oh gosh.
It's gonna be milestone for me.
I got 1 minute to guess how old I will be on tomorrow.
Last chance. Guess what Cacie will be turning tomorrow. It'll be interesting seeing people who play back. I think a lot of YouTube people, if it doesn't pick up on the middle, it plays back from the beginning, and so they're not necessarily at this point yet.
Okay, cool.
But they'll leave comments. But yeah, even if you're watching this back on the replay, go ahead and leave your comments. We still want to know what your guesses are. Okay, I guess that's enough. It's been 2 minutes.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Woo! I think you're more excited about this announcement than even I am.
Oh, you can always work it for views. I mean, you can always trend with something like this. I always think about the business side.
I know. Do it for the views, people. Do it for the views.
Oh, remember, do it for the Vine.
Okay, now you're showing your age. Is that don't exist anymore, does it?
No, Vine doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
They shut it down.
Was that the first TikTok-ish type thing?
Wasn't Vine a part of Twitter?
I don't remember.
And then they did Periscope, and that didn't really work out either.
But you know, Periscope still exists.
Oh, you can still do it? Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, who remembers Periscope? Oh my gosh. That's how we got engaged.
Oh yeah, I did get I should have done a white platform. I should have did a platform. I know it's gonna be around.
But anyway, so tomorrow I will be turning 40 years old tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Big
I know.
4-0.
Why is it a big 4-0 though? The 4 is actually a really small number. 1, 2, 3.
It's
4.
what yours says. The big. Someone kid turns 10, the big 1-0. Turn 20, big 2. Everybody says the big whatever. Every time it's one of round numbers.
But I do like the fact that it is an even number. Yes way. Absolutely. I love even numbers, by the way. It really bothers me. I think it's an OCD thing. I don't know. I don't like uneven numbers. So I'm glad to be an even number now. But yes, I will be 40 tomorrow. I'm excited about it. Like, I feel like I'm ready to step off into something great. And like a fresh new energy has just kind of like entered in. And I'm excited about it. I really, really am. And yeah, I will be 40 tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time in a long time that I've announced my age publicly.
I think so too.
No, but I mean, I always tell people, y'all gotta look in the hashtags, y'all. It's always in the hashtags, always. But yeah, 40 tomorrow.
Pretty cool.
40 and free. That is my hashtag, 40 and free.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. If you don't follow Cacie on Instagram, Life is Cacie. I'm sure she'll post about all her birthday.
Yes, follow me. Look,
this week.
Follow me on Instagram. I want new followers, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I want followers.
Hey, TikTok.
So it's Life is Cacie. Exactly, just all one word. Life as Cacie. CACIE on Instagram, and I will be posting all week long my birthday stuff because I'm gonna be just doing a little bit of something every single day to celebrate. I got me a whole crown and a sash. I'm going to have attitude this coming week. So you guys follow me on Life is Cacie if you don't already to see all my birthday updates and things.
Yeah. Figure out, follow her. Be cool. All right, we're gonna hang up. I hear my son screaming from his room because he never took his nap that he was supposed to be taking.
I know, right?
He's just sitting there. But yeah, so we love you guys. We'll see you again on next Sunday. We always say this like every week. There's exciting things coming, but legitimately,
is.
I am going to be after we turn this off, working on that exciting thing. So I hope you guys appreciate it because it's going to be a lot of work. I just want to.
It is.
Preface it is going to be a lot of work. It's a lot of work now. It's taking a lot of mental energy just getting it ready. But so I hope you guys appreciate it and you tune in and really add your energy to helping us make it successful because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. I would definitely have a blessed birthday. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it.
Watch JCTV. Link is in the description for YouTube, TikTok. Just click the link in our bio. Instagram, same thing. Watch JCTV 24/7 marriage content. All right, we love you guys. We'll see you next time. I'm going to go get Casey's birthday week started.
Yay!
See you guys next time.
Bye.